You have not noticed, it's pretty hot outside. Yesterday we got close to 100 degrees, and it's not going to be much cooler today. A little bit, but not much. That hot weather will not stop our kids, though, from heading outside to enjoy the summer activities. So, big question is, how can we protect them when they're out in the sun? Dr. Joe Craig, the medical director at Rocky Mountain Youth Clinics, who joins us live in studio this morning. Maybe give us some ideas. Let's talk first about some of the dangers out there, because it's not just heat that we have to be concerned about in the summer months with the kids.
Right. You know, we live in Colorado. We're a mile high, and we have the sun really close to us right now.
Right. We're very close to the sun.
So I see a lot of kids that are getting tan and getting burned. And, you know, that's a teaching point, you know, for me with my families to get in and say, you've got to protect them best you can. Our providers at Rocky Mountain Youth Clinics will say, get out and have fun. We want people to be active and enjoy the summer, but put on the sunscreen, watch what time of day you're out there. That's important. The middle of the day, kind of the 10 to 2 time is some of the worst time. And, you know, wear the right clothing, you know, take care of yourself. You're taking care of yourself, but your child's not doing that. They're not ready for that. You've got to plan ahead for the trip you're going to make out and take the right things and put the sunscreen on and be ready.
And you've heard this a million times, I know I have. When you see the clouds overhead, the sun rays are still getting through. Yesterday, one of those examples, I took the kids swimming. I'm going to say me and my wife and I forgot to put the sunscreen on. Well, it was deceiving because the clouds were out, and even though I know the rays get through there, I thought, we're okay.
Exactly.
We weren't.
So many people fall into that trap, and there's also the added, year-round. You know, here we have snow, but we also have some sand. You know, we have a lot of water. Surprisingly, you know, people get out to the water when it's hot, and so that'll reflect the rays right back up as well. And they do come right through the clouds. So it's basically just any time in the summer and really a whole lot of the winter. Be prepared. Put on the sunscreen. You know, be ready. And like I said, you've got to think for your child. You know, they're not going to think of these things, and you've got to plan ahead for them.
Sure, and those shirts too. My one son wears one of those kind of a swim shirt, which I found to be fantastic.
Most of those are good. You've got to look at what you've got. You know, there's some, like a cotton T-shirt I've heard is an SPF 4, basically. It gives you a little protection, but not a lot. But there are some swim shirts that are really good, and some other clothing, some specialty clothing you can buy, and especially for the really young child. I hate to see even a tan on a 6-month-old, but we see that. So you've got to cover them, got to put on the right clothes for them, and get them under the carrier that you're bringing them in, and then put them under a tree. Do get out and have fun, but plan ahead.
We're looking at the screen here, some other summer dangers, because it's not just the heat. There's other things like accidents with bicycles, pool spa accidents, insect bites. What are some of the other big things you see? Are these it?
Some of the biggest are injury accidents. The number one cause of death for our kids is accidents, and drowning is really high on that list. Planning ahead in that regard, you know, if your neighbor has a pool, you got to make sure, you know, that it's got a fence around it. There's lots of bodies of water around us. Our rivers and streams are surprisingly powerful, and so watching out for the drowning accident. The bicycles we pass out at Rocky Mountain Youth Clinics, we give our patients bicycle helmets, and it's fun to do because they really light up, and we want to promote them being active and out there and enjoying the Colorado summer as well. So bicycles and ATVs, there's lots of ways to get hurt, but some simple common sense things will help you kind of avoid those.
And I love the helmet one because it's funny, because when we were when I was growing up, it was like helmets, who wore helmets? So it's different for parents who never wore them to think, okay, it's important that our kids start wearing these things.
It is. It's actually a fairly simple thing to do. These helmets we pass out, one of our nurses started this program, and you can get them fairly inexpensively. It doesn't have to be a big burden for the car seats or the helmets or all these things that we may not have grown up with and maybe then find not so important because I survived and all, you know, my child will be fine without it. But simple measures like that are fairly inexpensive can make a huge difference.
All right. Dr. Joe Craig, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming in. Great advice.
Thank you.
All right. And even though there's no